Let's talk about the situation in Charleston. Number one, to say this wasn't racism, you have to be completely crazy and absurd and ludicrous to even think what happened in Charleston was not racism. It was complete racism. He even said anti black slurs and chants when he was killing the people. So, how is it not racism? The killings in a church, in a place of worship, this is going back to the 1960s. The fact that somebody would do this, it's surprising the fact that we've taken so many steps back. That's what's surprising. The surprise it's not surprising that somebody would actually do this. That's not surprising. I think that's what we need to do. We need to open our eyes to racism and what actually racism is, because a lot of people are just screaming, "Oh, racism, racism," and it diminishes the actual racist acts out here. A lot of people, a lot of black people, because the reason I say black people is because I wouldn't say African American, because like Malcolm X said, you have to eat what's on the plate to have dinner. You can't just sit at the dinner table and say, "Oh, I had dinner." We don't get all the rights we're supposed to have to be considered an American. We don't get the humanity part that we're supposed to have to be an American. So I say black people. We're not African American. So we're not Americans either. They don't even see us as Americans. So we as a people are very outraged. Yes, I know. Outraged, disgusted. This 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 guy, this kid, he's a cold-blooded murderer. That just is what it is. No illness, no nothing. He's a cold-blooded murderer. That's all it is to it. But as a people have to know what we're saying when we say F the police. Because when you say F the police, that then the mentality that everybody else is thinking, that other people are thinking, or that, hey, every police person is bad, so F all police, which is not true. For example, the killing of the two policemen that did nothing wrong, just shot him in the car. That's because all he heard was F the police, F this, F that. And a lot of people, a lot of even white people, all they hear is F the police, not F the police brutality behind it. And part of that is the media's fault, and part of that is our fault. A lot of people are very unclear of what people are trying to do, black activists are trying to do. They don't think that we're trying to stop police brutality. We're just saying, they just think that we're saying F the police and we're just complaining. They don't know the true meaning behind the things that we are doing. Some black people don't even understand the true meaning behind what people are doing. Just for example, by any means, some people will say by any means mean that he's going to fight any time. That's what Malcolm X said. No, but it doesn't mean that by any means necessary means that if the police are not going to protect us, by any means necessary, we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect ourselves by any means necessary. We have to educate ourselves on things that are going around us and educate ourselves in the correct way, not just the what the media feeds us. We have to actually read up on things, research things, look into things for ourselves, not what the media tells us, because the media is only going to tell us what they want us to think. I'm not justifying at all what this kid did at all, but I'm just saying that to possibly prevent more things like this happening, we have to make sure that everybody is understanding the movement and actually speak the truth about the Black Lives Matters movement or black activism movement. Show people what we mean when we say Black Lives Matter, what we mean when we want justice for all. We have to go out there and do things. And to the lady that was on CNN and saying, get off your knees and stop praying, no, don't do that. You're supposed to stay on your knees and pray and also do things, because you're not going to just pray for $1 million and not do anything to get it. You have to go out and work for it. Work for your blessings. And if we want justice and we're praying for justice for all, then we have to go out there and work for it. Charleston shooting is just another remnants of the 16th Street Baptist Church. And I've been to the 16th Street Baptist Church. And it just shows us that no matter how many steps we've moved forward, we've taken many steps backwards. And it's more like us as black people have gotten complacent at where we are. and we just say, oh, we're here now, so it's okay, it's all right. But no, continue to press on about this persistence of racism, because racism, let's do the timeline. It's been around for 600 plus years. It's not going to go away in 50 years. Not going to go away in 50 years. My mom, who's 50 years old, was the first class to be integrated. So how do you think that racism is just going to be eliminated in 50 years? And we as a people need to come together and actually figure out how to get past this thing, because a lot of people are going, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this, we need to do that, but nobody's taking real action. Some people are protesting, and that's great. I don't see the NAACP doing anything. I don't see them doing anything. Black Panther Party's not around anymore. So what? Only time I see the NAACP come in is when it's something really big on the news. And that's in the media, if the media puts it out there. Any other time, they don't get involved. They don't help. They don't help like they used to. It's up to us, the young people, the young generation, to actually stand up for our rights, to actually help racism, help combat racism, teach the others, the younger generation, about racism, so that they can actually learn and know how to recognize it. Don't shy away from talking about it. Talk about the racism. Talk about what's going on. But just don't yell racism to any little thing, because that diminishes the real racism going on out here. What I'm about to say is just facts. That church in Charleston was one of the oldest AME churches. The church was founded by Denmark Vesey, and today was the day that he planned the slave revolt out of that church. Pastor Clementa Pinckney was a Democratic state senator in South Carolina. Pastor Clementa Pinckney was also the person giving Walter Scott family spiritual counseling after the murder of their son on April 4th in South Carolina. Rest in peace to the 9 people that were killed in the Charleston shooting. I pray that your souls make it to heaven, and I know they will. We shall